in your 50 years of living, 6 dead bodies are very, very significant. It's the most significant thing that has ever happened to you in your life.
The man being interrogated here is Anthony Sowell. What began as a horrifying discovery of 6 bodies was only the beginning. As detectives delved deeper into the case, they would soon uncover a total of 11 bodies in his house of horrors, cementing his place in history as one of the most barbaric serial killers in America's history. But this was just the beginning of the harrowing revelations that lay ahead.
Did you have anything to choke them with, or was it just your bare hands?
I think that's my hand on that shoulder.
You say you're punishing her?
Punisher.
Punisher. That's
Yeah.
what the dream say, Punisher?
Yes.
What else?
The dream telling you to hurt her?
Yes. I think choke.
The dream told you to choke her?
Thank yes.
Anthony's confessions barely scratched the surface of the horrors his victims had endured. Fortunately, a few survived to share their harrowing stories.
He proceeded to me over and over and over. He just started strangling me and strangling me and said, "Bitch, stop screaming, you finna die." And I'm grabbing at his face, clawing at his face, clawing at his eyes, strangling me.
What could drive a man to such monstrosity? How was he able to hide 11 bodies for over 2 years without being detected? And perhaps even more troubling, can the police be held accountable for the delay in bringing him to justice? But most importantly, could there be any more victims? The answers to these questions left even the detectives horrified.
She fell out the window upstairs on the second floor.
Okay.
She lay on the ground, butt her neck.
On October 20th, 2009, Sean Morris leaped from the second-story window of 12205 Imperial Avenue in Cleveland, Ohio, escaping the grasp of 50-year-old Anthony to save her life. Just a month earlier, on September 22nd, Latundra Billups too had managed to escape and bravely reported her ordeal. Yet over a month passed before an action was taken. On October 29th, Special Victims Unit detectives finally secured a search warrant for Anthony's home. Inside, they discovered 2 decomposing bodies. Just 2 days later, on October 31st, Anthony was arrested and brought in for questioning. The reign of terror that had once seemed unstoppable finally ended.
You understand what you're here for? Okay. And, you understand where you are? You're in the Police Department, Justice Center? Okay. Now, this is my partner, Detective Griffin. I'm Detective Smith with the Homicide Unit.
Who was that? Oh,
that was the crime.
Okay.
So I know we're bombarding you, and there's a lot of people coming at you and got you on edge, and I just want you to relax here, you know, and just have a conversation with us. Okay, you think you can handle that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I see you're a smoker. We got some smokes for you.
Everybody been cool except 3 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's how life is. Some people are going to be good to you, and some people are going to be cool to you.
They got them out here, so it don't matter.
We're not pressing you against the wall. We're not going to accuse you of anything. You obviously know everything that we already know also. Okay. But I appeal to you, and I like to appeal to you, you know, to the better side, to the good side of Anthony. And you obviously know, you've seen the news in the last couple of days, or you've just been walking around. Family, have you talked to your family members lately? No, nobody? Okay.
Just been walking around?
We know you hadn't come back to the house, and I was just curious to why you hadn't come back to the house.
My house?
Yeah.
I'm hardly there.
Okay.
Okay. You taking any medication? Any medication you got to have every day?
What is your medication for?
Heart.
Okay.
Heart medication?
What type of heart condition do you have?
I got a pacemaker.
Oh, you do? When did you get that?
2007.
2007. And when you come out of the service, I see you Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Hey, you did a re-enlistment or one term? When you come out?
85.
85. Hats off to you, man.
In 1985, Anthony returned to Cleveland after being discharged from the Marines. 4 years later, in 1989, he lured a woman named Melvette Sockwell to his home, where he raped and tortured her. At the time of the attack, Melvette was 3 months pregnant. Although he was arrested for the assault, a plea bargain reduced the charge to attempted rape, resulting in a 15-year prison sentence. Anthony was released in 2005 as a registered sex offender, but shockingly, his DNA was never entered into the system. The detectives carefully ease into their questioning, working to build rapport with Anthony in hopes of gaining his trust, ultimately leading him to reveal everything they need.
We're not here to judge you, man, okay? We don't judge nobody, okay?
We don't know what happened. We don't know the reason why it happened. There's any number of reasons. You can explain to us if you choose to tell us about any things that you had, any problems you have, difficulties, or your reason. We'll be willing to sit and listen to it. We're not going to try to pass judgment on whatever you've done or why you've done it. If you feel the need to talk to us about it, then we'll listen, obviously, you know.
And a lot of times make you feel
and absolutely. And I'm sure it's important to you that what people feel about you and think about you, you know.
I know what they're going to think.
Well, you know, but you can do something about that also. You can change the thoughts of a lot of people. You know, they may look at you in one manner and think that, oh man, how awful is that?
Some people did.
Yeah, well, some people are gonna do that.
Other people that told me about things I've done. They actually mentioned them, so I was like, I know they was telling the truth.
Yeah, well, you're gonna get some people that's gonna, irregardless of what you do or say, they're gonna think one way, and then you're gonna get some people that are gonna say, well, you know, maybe this guy has some problems. We need to look at it and sit down and talk to him and try to understand what was he going through. Okay, but our issue is, you know, if you choose to do so, you know, explain to us. Well, this is my concern because we don't know who those people are, and we would like to get some kind of clarification on who they may be, because there are people that are waiting to hear from us because they want to try to identify their loved ones. Now that's a good thing that you could do, is try to identify.
I just help. Like I told them, I don't even remember meeting them, names or anything.
After his release from prison in 2005, Anthony Sowell assaulted and murdered 11 women between 2007 and 2009, leaving a trail of devastation that would forever haunt their families and the city of Cleveland. Desperate for answers, detectives sought to reach whatever humanity remained in Anthony, emphasizing that identifying his victims was the only way to bring closure to their grieving loved ones.
Let's try this. We're going to make this real simple so it won't be complicated for you. At some point in time, you started meeting some young ladies, and you say Jermaine was meeting some young ladies and bringing them over. So maybe kind of go back a little bit, you know, kind of shake up your memory a little bit and what you can clearly remember, or some memories of what you have, or the circumstances, or how you met them, or where you met them, and how they came to be over there, and what names they may have given you. You know, would help us a lot, and it would help you, and it would change. I'm sure it would change a lot of people's thoughts. You don't want to be thought as a monster. You are a human being that's got feelings. So, that's my appeal to you. Is to try.
I don't remember no name.
You remember?
I don't remember how I met him. All I can remember is all I got visions of faces.
Okay.
Now if you got a picture, I might can help.
Well, what about the vision? Tell me something about some of the visions you
I
have.
see faces.
Okay.
I don't even know these people. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I just black out when I come to it. Like everything's.
Serial killers often detach themselves from their victims, viewing them as mere objects rather than humans. However, the detectives sought to humanize the victims, reminding Anthony that these were real people, women with names, families, and lives that truly mattered.
Tell me about the most recent person that you met. You remember anything about that situation?
The last person I was with.
Yeah, the most recent one, maybe. You know, I'm just trying to sort of jog your memory a little bit to see.
I remember Her name was Sean.
Sean.
Sean?
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with her. She's okay.
Sean's okay.
Yeah, I called her last week, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you did call her? Okay. Yeah, you talked to her on the phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about the ones that's not okay? Okay, their last time.
I don't know no names.
Well, just tell me about it. You don't have to have.
Just tell us about how you met. You know what? Names are probably difficult because especially if you just met.
Most of them will come up to me.
Uh-huh.
Or say something to me. Yeah.
Proposition you for money or
Yeah.
or to get high.
Drugs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some drugs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when was the last time one proposition came up to you for drugs or money or what have you that they're not okay now?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Like,
You can't remember. I'm not naming.
wait.
Yeah, take your time, relax.
In a desperate bid to save her life, Sean leaped from a second-story window, fleeing Anthony's clutches. Moments later, surveillance cameras captured him in pursuit, a chilling glimpse into the horrors unfolding inside his home.
And the names may come to you later on. But the incident itself, how did you meet this person? This person came to you. That's what we need to do. Well,
Can you remember? You have memories of where these bodies were positioned in your house, though, don't you?
I don't know.
Okay. When did you start maybe not remembering where they were? At some point in time, you
When I woke up, it's like it was a dream or something. I always wake up.
Okay.
I always
Well,
be in my bed or something. But I wake up and
this is not going to be pleasant. It's not pleasant for us, and I'm sure it's not pleasant for you. But we know that you conceal some of the bodies. You know that, right?
Yes.
You don't remember? You conceal any of the bodies? None whatsoever?
What about the basement of the house? You know how your basement is made, you go down and do the work.
exactly the same thing. Yeah.
There was a body.
What can you remember about it? Was it a female? Can you remember that?
Investigators turned their focus to Anthony's personal life. His girlfriend ended their relationship in 2008, a breakup that seemed to mark a turning point in his behavior. Detectives speculated that this heartbreak may have pushed him over the edge, transforming him into the monster he would become. Determined to uncover the truth, they pressed further into this critical detail. But even more disturbing discoveries were yet to surface.
Now, after she left, after you all broke up, that's when all these things start happening to you and people start disappearing, so to speak. Yes. Okay. It was one other thing that bothered me too. Maybe you can help us out on this. There was a body outside that was found in the yard, in the rear yard. And same manner. Can you remember how that occurred? In the backyard.
I was blank for days.
Yeah, we understand. I can account.
Explain
I
it.
can understand that.
And then I wake up and I'll be like, oh,
What did you think about the reason why we're going to stick with this for a while is when we were out there and we were finding bodies and bringing them out, there were a parade of women, parade of guys, people, and they had, we don't have the pictures, but they had names and pictures. We're going to get the pictures and maybe later on we can bring them to you and show them to you. But they were very concerned. And we're concerned too because you're seeing a lot of people out here with the suffering and grief that they haven't seen their loved ones in a year or 6 months or whatever. So we're trying to give them some satisfaction. So And I know you saying you blanked out and you got a limited recall as to who, whom, or what. But as difficult as it is, try to describe something.
The detectives turned their attention to an unsettling question. How had the smell of the decomposing bodies gone unnoticed? The foul odor had been a persistent issue on Imperial Avenue, prompting visits from health inspectors. However, the blame was placed on Ray's Sausage, a business next to Anthony's home. The company spent nearly $200,000 upgrading its ventilation system to resolve the problem. Yet, the horrific stench of rotting flesh continued to haunt the neighborhood. However, the horrifying truth about Anthony's victims and the unimaginable suffering they endured in their final moments was about to be revealed.
Go ahead, Nick.
Go ahead.
You don't look.
I'm gonna ask you some questions.
You don't ring any bell.
Go ahead, Nick. Let's go back to what we was talking about. Now, you said with the girlfriend that and you would meet these females and they would come to the house. And sometimes things would happen, sometimes things would not. Sometimes bad things would happen, sometimes good things would happen. Now we found more than one body in the house. And I asked you about how many bodies do you think could possibly be in that house? And you said you didn't know. Then I asked you about how many bodies could be outside the house. And you said you didn't know, and then you mentioned 10.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know. I was giving you a number. I don't know.
Okay.
No more than.
No more than?
No.
I'm talking about everything.
No
It
more
might
than
even be
10.
close to 10. I'm out of.
Okay. Well, I'm talking about like inside the house.
I don't know.
outside
I'm
the
just
house.
saying. That's the best I can say.
What would make you say the number 10 though? Just
I don't know if it's something. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Are you at this point in time thinking about the locations and where they were?
Just from what I've been told.
What you've been told?
Well, let's go some more with the truth. We're going to tell you where they were when we found them. In some of the situations, obviously, you know that we talked about two buried bodies, one in the backyard and one in the basement stairs. So you had to dig the shovels. Bodies you had to dig deep enough and throw enough dirt.
The detectives also shared their harrowing accounts of the day they entered the House of Horrors, a scene of unimaginable dread that would haunt them forever.
There was a mound of dirt that was found in the basement behind the stairwell, which was unusual. And this dirt, I went down and I looked at it, and the dirt was on top of the concrete floor. You know, you think maybe it's another body there or whatever.
The mere sight of the house evoked unspeakable horror. With every discovery inside, the detective's sense of dread deepened as the true extent of the nightmare began to unfold.
2 bodies the first day, a third body in back of the stairwell, a red bucket about maybe a foot high, was a skull. Yeah. Everywhere you stepped on rat feces, flies were hanging from the ceiling, and the stench, you had decomposed substances that came from the body. You found the other body in the bag, 2 or 3 feet away from another body, and then to find an additional body in the crawl space with the same type of dirt that was in the basement. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4 bodies upstairs, 1 and a skull in the basement. Now you can imagine what your mind is thinking. I said, where else? Yeah. And that's what prompted us to look throughout the house.
Oh, so many dreams.
So many dreams.
Mm-hmm. Every night.
Every night you have a dream. Can you tell us about one of the dreams?
All I know is I heard somebody.
That you heard something. Each of these dreams you heard somebody.
In your dreams, how did you heard them? Tell us how you heard them.
You don't know how you heard them? Did the dreams say that you shot them? Did the dreams say that you stabbed them? Did the dreams say that you beat them up? Did the dreams say that you choked them with your hands? Okay. So you manually did it with your hands. So you hurt them with your hands. Okay. Would those dreams say that you punched them with a fist? Would those dreams say that you choked them with the hands? You choked them with the hands. That's what these dreams would say. Okay. And each of these dreams were the same as far as you using your hands. No weapons whatsoever. No knives, no guns, but it's just with your hands.
No, we found a lot of knives upstairs from those bodies. You're telling us that you did nothing with them, no knives, no nothing else. That wasn't your style.
There's a lot of knives.
Yeah. Now, see, Tom.
Sharp knife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know you're concerned about what's going to happen with you as time goes on. I know what do you expect is going to happen?
I'm just certain. So what? I'm just certain.
No, it's not going to be. We don't want this to be no struggle. That's why he and I are here.
Anthony described his heinous acts as nothing more than vivid dreams, a possible facade meant to suggest memory loss or insanity, a trait commonly found among narcissists and psychopaths. Detectives, however, shifted their focus to the striking similarities among his victims, hoping these patterns could reveal more about his motives and methods.
You're not sure, but you know your hands were involved in doing that. And it wasn't choking. It wasn't no slapping or hitting or stabbing or shooting. It was actually choking. Okay. And these...
No baseball bat.
No baseball, no objects used. But they were females.
Yes.
All black females.
Yes.
No designated age or what have you, just all ages.
Nobody young.
Nobody young. When you say young, Tom, what do you mean? Under the age of what?
I'll say 20.
Under 20?
Well, that's young, but I'm talking about no kids, not like that.
Yeah, no children.
No.
All adults. Would they be young as far as 20? 24, 25? Would it be young stuff like that? Me and you about the same age.
I don't think so.
So it would be like 30 and up?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And mostly street walkers out in the street, drug users?
I think so.
Okay.
Anthony preyed on the most vulnerable victims, women struggling with addiction, homelessness, or difficult circumstances, making them easy targets for his horrific crimes. He fits the profile of a disorganized serial killer, someone who acts on impulse rather than meticulously planning their crimes.
I know this ain't easy.
I don't remember
but
using.
you gotta understand,
Okay,
this
but-
ain't easy for me either.
Okay, I don't remember using, but maybe I did. Maybe.
What?
But I'm just saying, nobody was.
What do you?
All of them was strangled.
From what I told you, to throw into your memory bank that she was strangled with something around her neck. What do you think you would have strangled her with, Tom? See, you gotta make this right.
What you?
You gotta make this right. It's okay, but you. I don't know. In my mind, in my heart, I don't know what's in your mind and in your heart, but you gotta make this right. In my mind, in my heart, that's what you do.
See,
It's gotta be right. It's gotta be right before we finish this up.
you can't make nothing happen that if
I know what you're saying, but
Okay, well,
God,
see, every time I get it, you think like I can just, and everything is so, it's not clear like that.
why isn't it?
I don't know.
You remember why you got demoted in the military?
That was because that was
long ago, Tone. That was a whole lot long ago.
But I wasn't dreaming about no military. I lived military.
You lived this.
I know, but it's different.
You lived this.
It's different, man.
Yeah, it's the most significant thing that has ever happened to you in your life. In your 50 years of living, 6 dead bodies are very, very significant. They are like concrete like glue. They're stuck. They're not going nowhere for the rest of your life. You know they're going to be there forever.
Anthony falls into the profile of a power or control motivated serial killer. Unlike hedonistic killers, his crimes weren't driven by lust, but by a need to dominate his victims completely. And as the voices in his head commanded him to punish and control, his reign of terror only grew darker.
You guys land up in the bed together, y'all go to sleep. She's there when you go to sleep?
Yeah.
She's there when you go to sleep?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Is she laying next to you in the bed when you go to sleep? So,
Yeah.
and then when the next thing you know, you woke up and she was gone?
Yeah. I have dreams about it.
You had dreams about
What are your dreams telling you? Tell us exactly everything your dreams are saying. Huh?
punishing her? Yeah. You say you're punishing her?
Punisher.
Punisher. That's what the dreams say, punisher?
What else? That's it?
That's all I,
That's all you dream?
that's all I, that's all I
What, is this somebody talking to you saying punish her, or you
Yes.
dream the word punish her? Who talking to you saying punish her?
I want to say.
You don't want to say. I thought you wanted to help us.
That has nothing to do with that.
Yes, it does. Now you don't want to tell us
Because
anything.
that has nothing to do with.
What does it have to do with, Tom? Now you just told me 5 minutes ago you want to help us.
I'm helping you try to identify.
No, you're not.
What type of punishment is the voice saying to do to her? What is the voice telling you to do to her in your dream? Is it telling you to slap her around? Is it telling you to kick her out the house? What is the dream telling you to do to her? The dream telling you to hurt her?
Yes. I think choke.
The dream told you to choke her?
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
So in the dream, did you choke her?
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what. If the dream told you to choke her and you choked her, that damn dream is over when you start hauling that damn dirt up there, putting it on the damn body.
The detectives grew increasingly frustrated with the lack of progress in the case. It wasn't until much later that the full, horrifying details of Anthony's crimes finally came to light.
What we determined was that he would start out having oral sex with them, and then he would have sex with them after that, and then he would sodomize them after that. That was his MO. During that is when the ligature would come out. That's when his deviant nature became extreme.
He knew how to get next to them. He knew how to make them feel comfortable. And he knew at what time to approach them. That was his technique.
Can you imagine that you are being invited somewhere to a person that's friendly and being friendly to you, and you get inside and they close the door and all of a sudden they become something that you've never experienced and been exposed to? I mean, the complete terror of it, and you have nowhere to go. You're stuck. He went from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
This is probably one of the most horrific cases ever. Mm-hmm. You guys
in
said.
America,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
In Cleveland, that's a fact. This was a man possessed with 2 evils. He raped them and killed them. 11 of them.
But give us.
Y'all keep hearing this over and over, and y'all not listening to me.
Yeah, we heard you.
I'm giving
We heard you, Tom.
Man, I do not know
We heard
everything.
you.
I'm trying to remember all the codes, everything. Oh my goodness.
We heard you tell us you can't remember nothing about these 6 females.
It's like it's all running to.
They ain't running nothing.
Okay.
Here I ask you, I say, well, how did you kill number 1? I don't know.
I don't know.
How did you kill number 2?
I don't even remember.
I don't know.
I don't even
How did
actually.
you kill number
I went
3?
to bed.
I don't even remember actually killing
How did
nobody.
you kill number 4? I don't know.
I went
How
to
does the
bed.
dirt get up in your house on the 3rd floor in the crawl space above a body, on the body? I don't know. How did the dirt get downstairs in the basement underneath the 7-step stairwell on top of a body? I don't know. How did the body get dug up out of your backyard? I don't know. What kind of shit is that?
All you know now is trying to save your damn ass.
Save my ass. How can I save my ass? My life is over with.
But then tell us about these girls.
Okay.
It ended.
How did it happen?
Now you done got selfish because you don't want to tell us about these girls. That is totally unnecessary.
Then you want to tell us it's because you didn't have exchange sex and drugs. I think you're just using it as an excuse. I think it might have been more than that. I think it might have been more than that. I think you
Whatever it
just
is,
settling
man.
on that. At
Give
this
us
point.
these girls, man.
Okay. Is that what it was? Or you just settling on it? Are you thinking, Tone, or are you just being hard-headed?
And I'm about being hard.
Give us these girls,
Think?
man. Give us these
I'm
girls.
trying to help you as best I
Give us
could.
these
Y'all
girls,
just keep
man, before the night is over. This is gonna go into another day without us getting these girls. Give us to them. What's the issue about you giving us these girls? What's the major hang up about you giving us these girls?
I'm trying to. Yes, I was.
No, Tom, you never tried.
After more than 6 hours of interrogation, the detectives concluded their session without obtaining any concrete admissions. However, when the trial began in June 2011, it marked a turning point, empowering the surviving victims to step forward and testify with courage.
It was just like dark and gloomy. After he took that hit, he turned around and punched me in my face and told me to take my clothes off. He said, "Bitch, take your clothes off." And he proceeded to rape me over and over and over again. Nobody help me. Nobody help me. He just started strangling me to say, "Bitch, stop screaming, you finna die." And I'm grabbing at his face and clawing at his face, clawing at his eyes, strangling me. And I'm almost gone.
I've seen him in the area. If anybody know that area was a high drug rated area. I wanted to use his phone. At first he acted like he was trying to help me fix the car. I didn't panic. That was pitiful.
Today, Melvette has transformed her pain into purpose, dedicating her life to an empowerment center where she helps women break free from life on the streets.
Tundra Billups came into court and testified that on September 22, 2009, she went to the house at 12205 Imperial with the defendant to drink and get high. She testified that at that point he hit her hard on the side of her face and told her to take off her clothes. As he was penetrating her, he put an extension cord around her neck and began to squeeze it until she could not breathe.
The negligence surrounding Anthony's case became a catalyst for a deeper investigation into the Cleveland Police Department's handling of assaults and missing person reports. It was revealed that the department's Crimes and Child Abuse Unit was severely overwhelmed, with just 13 detectives tasked with managing approximately 1,400 reported cases annually. Lacking basic technology and adequate training, delays in investigations were inevitable. So many cases were closed with little to no follow-up. Compounding the issue was a staggering backlog of more than 4,000 untested assault kits, highlighting systemic failures that left countless victims without justice.
We're here to announce an 85-count indictment against Anthony Soule, who was responsible for Cleveland's most heinous crimes. A Cuyahoga County grand jury has returned an indictment against this monster for brutalizing 3 women, 2 who've been raped, and murdering 11 more. Soule preyed upon vulnerable females, luring them into his house. Once inside, he tormented them, threatened them, and assaulted them. He murdered 11 of them.
Crystal Dozier was last heard of on May 17, 2007. Deshauna Culver was last seen sometime in March. LaShonda Long disappeared in the summer of 2000. Michelle Mason went missing in October. Nancy Cobb's body was found wrapped inside 6. Janice Webb was last seen on June 20. Felicia Fortson was last seen by her daughter. Tanya Carmichael was last seen. Kim Smith. There was a ligature in the form. Melda Hunter was last seen sometime during. Diane Termy was last seen in late August, early September 2000.
Anthony pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity, but after 15 hours of deliberation, the jury rejected his defense and found him guilty. Anthony was convicted on 81 charges, including aggravated murder, assault, kidnapping, and abuse of a corpse.
with respect to the matter of State of Ohio versus Anthony Soule, we, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, do hereby find that the aggravating circumstances which the defendant was found guilty of committing do outweigh the mitigating factors presented in this case by proof beyond a reasonable doubt. We therefore unanimously find that the sentence of death should be imposed upon the defendant, Anthony Soule.
Is there anything you want to say to families and victims?
The only thing I want to say is that I'm sorry. I know that might not sound like much, but I truly am sorry from the bottom of my heart. This is not typical of me. I don't know what happened, I can't explain it. But I know it's not a lot, but that's all I can give you.
On January 2021, Anthony was transferred to the Franklin Medical Center in Columbus due to an unspecified terminal illness. Just weeks later, on February 8, 2021, he died at the age of 61 while in prison custody, passing away before the state could carry out his execution. Anthony's actions epitomized pure evil, yet many haunting questions remain unanswered. Should he have been released back onto the streets after his initial arrest? Did his time in prison transform him into an even more dangerous predator than he already was? However, the tragic sacrifice of the 11 women was not in vain. Their story served as a wake-up call for society, leading to the indictment of over 800 assailants and sparking reforms in handling such cases. Yet one question remains. Could there be more victims of Anthony Soule lost in the shadows of his horrific crimes, their stories still waiting to be uncovered? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more such content. Now, let's take a moment of silence for the departed. Though they are gone, they are not forgotten.